We are currently just over 7 weeks out from race day, and that means I will be travelling out to New Zealand in just over 5 weeks' time. That's a little bit scary. Now, since my last video, I had a little bit of time off to relax in Arcachon out in France, and I've been just going through the motions a little bit now. But really, I'm getting my head down now, and I've got 7 weeks, 7 and a bit weeks, to really bust my balls to get in the best shape possible. Now, is that enough time? I'm slightly questioning it. I am slightly questioning whether that's not enough time, but in the back of my head, I also know it is. I'm just questioning it a little bit. I'm just going to be working really, really hard over this next period of time, and I'm going to be documenting it for you guys, and then really looking forward to documenting this stuff out in New Zealand. Let me know if you're going to be out in New Zealand for the Worlds. I'd like to catch up with as many people as possible out there, and yeah, let's just get this day done and done. I've already been on a 50-minute easy jog today just to get the juices flowing a little bit from track last night, which was pretty horrible, so feeling good. We've got a threshold swim today, which is not going to be very enjoyable, I'll be completely honest, and then we've got a long 5-hour ride. Fingers crossed outside, may not be outside, might have to be on a turbo, which I'm really not looking forward to, I'll be completely honest. Yeah, feeling in the bin a little bit already with training, but I just need to grow up and get on with it. So that's what we're about to do. The GoPro has run out of battery, so I'm doing a Josh Lewis and I'm filming on my phone.
He doesn't do it on the front camera though, he does it on the back camera so you can't see it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know.
Oh.
Because it's better camera quality on the rear camera than the front camera.
That is a good point actually,
Yeah.
The camera quality is not very good. But anyway, we got threshold swim and
Our vlog as well, don't worry.
Coach Fred. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Tell me.
Put me out my misery.
We could just go to the calf.
No, that's not an option.
Oh, okay.
Let's do 400 tempo,
Yeah,
2.2's threshold.
yeah.
How far is that? That's 800.
Yeah.
2 1s VO2 times 4.
I ain't doing that.
You bloody well will be.
Shit.
I'm timing, mate.
Oh. Right. If this makes me beat Hayden Wild, then I guess I've got to do it, haven't I?
Yeah. Well, rumour has it, Hayden's not that good.
That swim was revolting. We did that set that Freddie mentioned, so 600 choice warm-up, 200 prep, then we went into 400 tempo off 530, 200s threshold off 250, and then 100s VO2 off 140, I believe. And then rolled through. Original plan was to do 4, but actually my fatigue and my sort of technique was breaking down, so we did 3 full sets, and then we did the 400 at the start of the 4th set. So we did 3.4k, working hard, working really well. The 400s, we were coming in. The first set I did quite well. Second set I pushed on a bit too much, so hovering around like the 5-minute mark, which was a little bit too quick to be honest for tempo, because that should be like a lactate buffering sort of rep, whereas if you're swimming that quick, I don't think you're really kind of getting rid of the lactate, which is something that I need to train myself to do. And then the 200s coming in around 230. Some of them may be a bit quicker, some of them may be a bit slower, especially the 3rd set. And then the 100s wasn't actually that much quicker, maybe 74s, 75s, wasn't too much quicker. So I think the reasoning for that is because I essentially didn't do the 400s slow enough to get rid of the lactate from the 200 and the 100. And so then every single rep, every single set was getting harder and harder and harder. And actually what I should have done is step back a little bit on the 400, give myself 10, 15 seconds rest, so come in on the 5:15 instead of a 5-minute. And that would have been a way better way of completing that session. Then I probably could have done a 4th set. So things to learn, things to improve on. But Yeah, the times were okay. It's just the sensations in the water were not good. Felt horrific, felt really heavy, didn't feel quick, didn't feel strong. So I'm just hoping this is like a period in time that I'm in right now that's just, getting the body back to a high load. Like, is going to be high load. It's going to be, you know, working really, really hard for the next 7 weeks. We haven't got time to sort of mess around, to get pretty with things, to, you know, like back off a little bit. It's full gas for the next 7 weeks. And I need to just keep going. Just keep going full gas. So we've done the run, we've done the swim, and we've now got a ride. I'm going to scran off some lunch, and then we've got a 5-hour ride. I am going to go outside. The numbers, supposedly I need to be hitting around 248, 250 for 5 hours. That's pretty tough. We're just going to give it a good crack. We're going to give it a go. We're going to go out. We're going to enjoy it, I think, maybe. I'm not too sure, but work's getting done. It's 2:20 because we swim at 12, and by the time I'm back home, I had to do an EPC thing for this bloody house and have some lunch. So we're only getting out about now, which means it's going to get dark around 5:30, but we're not going to get back until earliest 7:30. Guarantee I'm going to need to do a stop for some food. We've got 2 litres here. I've got 2 90s in this bottle. That's just water. And then I've got another 90. Emergency caffeine gel. Don't really want to use that just in case I end up being up all night. But if I start crying on the side of the road, that might be useful. And then 2 30s just in case. That's a lot of fuel. I doubt I'll need all of it. And I'll probably go to the co-op for some bits, potentially, especially to fill up on fluid. But what I've had to do is get the lights on, because it's definitely going to get dark. Half of this ride in the light, half of this ride in the dark, which is, you know, it is what it is. We're just going to get it done. But I just didn't want to get on the turbo because I know full well that there's going to be plenty more time that I'm going to have to spend on the turbo because of the shorter days, because of the weather that's going to, I can only imagine, get a lot worse. Classic British weather. So between now and New Zealand, I know I'm going to be spending a lot of time on the turbo. So if I can get out now, I think I'm going to prefer doing that just to save my mental state, because otherwise, yeah, that's going to be horrific. So let's go get this job done. As you can tell, I'm a little bit warm. I've dressed in the knowledge that I am going to be riding into the evening. So I am very much hoping that it will cool down at some point, as I'm pretty bloody hot. But it's nice to see some sun, so I'm not complaining. I just had a good motor pacing session from Max Hazel in his little MX-5. I'm going to be brutally honest, didn't get much of a draft. That car's the size of my big toe, so, but the thought counts. And yeah, we're on our way. For anyone who knows the area, essentially I'm starting in Bradford-on-Avon where I live, just gone up past Castle Combe, then heading out towards Tetbury, up to Nailsworth, gonna hit up the W, which is a climb up there that is kind of alpine-y-ish, because it's got, oh yeah, it's alpine-esque because it's got some switchbacks. It's quite a nice climb. Then we're going to come back to Tetbury, over to Malmesbury, maybe head on back and hit up a climb in Bath, and then roll back home. Should be roughly I need to hit 5 hours, and maybe between 130 and 150 Ks. So it's early days. Let's get going. Just over halfway, 75 Ks. We're not doing too bad with the normalised power, just keeping it pretty tight. And we stopped at the co-op for Coke, water and Haribos. And if anyone thinks that is unhealthy, I think 7.5 hour training day is unhealthy as well. So what are you gonna do? See if I can hold on to this good normalized for the last 90 minutes. It's stinging a little bit, but we're good. We're at 2:49, so anything around that is pretty decent. It is like keeping the chain pretty tight. It's pretty hard riding, but you know, if you can ride hard like that for a long ride like this, then it does make you strong. It's tough going, but I'm in the last 90 minutes now, so just gotta grow up and get on with it, haven't you? And then pretty much home in time for bed.